Hello BookTube, my name's Amy and this is our channel TwoPaperGirls. I'm quite sad today because as you can tell I'm missing a paper girl. Laura isn't here because today I'm going to show you my bookshelf tour. I actually have 4 bookshelves and this is my first one. It's full of classics. And this is my other 3 bookshelves. On my first shelf I have my Oxford classics to begin with. Jane Austen, Persuasion. Hamlet by Shakespeare. Othello, The Tempest. Twelfth Night, Macbeth, all by Shakespeare. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, The Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf, Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman, and Selected Poetry by William Wordsworth. And that's it for Oxford classics. Now we're going on to modern Penguin classics. The Great Gatsby by S. Scott Fitzgerald, 1984 by George Orwell, White Sargasso Sea by Jean Rhys, The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck, and Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck, another copy of Hamlet by William Shakespeare, Henry VI Part 1 by William Shakespeare, and another copy of The Twelfth Night. And that brings us on to the Black Penguin Modern Classics. We have Oronooko by Aphra Behn, Robert Brown in Selected Poems, The Beggar's Opera by John Gay, Utopia by Thomas More, and then we have 3 vintage classics, The Rape of the Lock by Alexandra Pope, Slaughterhouse 5 by Kurt Vonnegut, and The Bloody Chamber by Angela Carter. And then we have 3 Orange Penguin classics, Animal Farm by George Orwell, Coming Up for Air by George Orwell, and Inside the Whale and Other Essays by George Orwell. Next we have 3 Collins classics, another copy of William Shakespeare's Macbeth, A Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson, and The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. And next we have the Green Wordsworth editions, The Collected Poems of Robert Burns, The Collected Poems of John Donne, The Poems and Sonnets of William Shakespeare, and Williams Wordsworth and Samuel Taylor Coleridge's Lyrical Ballads and Other Poems. Next we have the Blue Wordsworth editions, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, Les Miserables Volume 1 by Victor Hugo, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, Dracula by Bram Stoker, and Vanity Fair by William Makepeace Thackeray. Next we have the Black Wordsworth editions, A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens, The Diamond as Big as the Ritz and Other Stories by F. Scott Fitzgerald, Hunchback of Notre Dame by Victor Hugo, What Maisie Knew by Henry James, Dubliners by James Joyce, Ulysses by James Joyce, A Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare, Henry IV Part 1 and 2 by William Shakespeare, Tom Sawyer Abroad and Tom Sawyer Detective by Mark Twain, The Profundis by Oscar Wilde, Mrs. Dalloway, and The Waves by Virginia Woolf. And now we're on to what I call like my little shelf of rainbow. Hard Times by Charles Dickens, Gulliver's Travels by Jonathan Swift, Tremalcho, an early version of The Great Gatsby from F. Scott Fitzgerald, Wolf Hall by Hilary Mantel, Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury, Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll, D.H. Lawrence's Selected Poems, David Copperfield by Charles Dickens, The Wits and Weddings by Philip Larkin, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, Selected Poems by Walt Whitman, Oedipus Rex by Sophocles, The A to Z of Classical FM Music, Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux, Selected Poetry by Alfred Lord Tennyson, The Complete Poems by Emily Dickinson, Silver Poets of the 17th Century, Catch-22 by Joseph Heller, Beowulf, a verse in translation by Seamus Heaney, Ron Carlson writes a story by Ron Carlson, Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame, Collected Poems by T.S. Eliot, The Complete Works of Shakespeare, 15 Poets from Chaucer to Arnold, A Doll's House by Henrik Ibsen, Tess of the D'Urbervilles by Thomas Hardy, and Medea by Euripides. And that's the end of the Rainbow bookshelf. Now we're on to just miscellany to complete my bookshelf. Immortal Last Words, Songs of Innocence and Experience by William Blake, Brideshead Revisited by Evelyn Waugh, Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. And that's it for all the books on my classic shelf. Now I'm going to show you what else I keep on this bookshelf, which is all of my fandom stuff and my DVDs. We have Battlestar Galactica, a Matt Smith biography, and Volume 1 of Series 1, Volume 2 of Series 1, complete second series signed by Jackie, Series 3, The Waters of Mars and the End of Time Part 1 and 2 specials, the complete 5th series, Series 6, Series 7, the Doctor Who 50th Anniversary Special of the Day of the Doctor, and the complete fake series of Doctor Who, Series 1 to 3 of Primeval, the complete Series 1, Season 2, Season 3, Season 4, and Season 5 of Merlin. And then I have Series 1 and 2 of Game of Thrones, and Season 3. And finally, to complete this bookshelf, we have Season 1 to 4 of The Walking Dead. This is my front room, and this is like my reading room, and here I have all of my A to Z of my fiction, mainly my YA, but also books that I'm shelving for Laura. As I have so much room on my bookshelves, the trouble with bookshelves is that if you fill them up then you have no more space, but if you have space they don't look full. So my bookshelves are quite sparse still, but this shelf is for the books that I currently really want to read. This is the shelf of books that I've read so far this month, and also books that I'm currently reading. These are the books that I'm shelving for Laura, and there's some of Mum's books, and there's some of my books that I have double copies of. And this is a bit that I've been most excited for. This is the A to Z of all of my fiction books. The 5 People You Meet in Heaven by Mitch Albom. The Wasp Factory by Ian Banks. Shadow and Bone by Lee Bardugo. England, England by Julian Barnes. The Manifesto on How to Be Interesting, and Soulmates by Holly Bourne. The Darkest Minds, and Never Fade, which is the second book in the Darkest Minds series by Alexandra Bracken. Beauty Queens by Libba Bray. The Miniaturist by Jessie Burton. The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. Clockwork Angel. The Clockwork Prince, and The Clockwork Princess, which is the third book in the Infernal Devices trilogy by Cassandra Clare. City of Bones, City of Lost Souls, and City of Heavenly Fire, also by Cassandra Clare. I don't have some of the books from the Mortal Instruments series, which is a shame because I do love this series and I'm going to get them cheap soon. Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. And this is my Doctor Who collection. The Clockwise Man, The Monsters Inside, Only Human, The Deviant Strain, Winner Takes All, The Stealers of Dreams, The Feast of the Drowned, The Stone Rose, The Resurrection Casket, and The Nightmare of Black Island. Everything is Illuminated by Jonathan Safran Foer. Endgame, The Calling by James Frey. Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. Beautiful Creatures and Beautiful Darkness, part of a series by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stoll, which I don't think I'm ever going to finish. The Red Necklace and The Silver Blade, a duology by Sally Gardner. Maggot Moon by Sally Gardner. Lord of the Flies by William Golding. Gone, Hunger, Lies, Fear, I'm missing Plague. I do have Light, which completes the series from Michael Grant of the Gone series. Berserk and Berserk Apocalypse, which is the first and third books from a trilogy by Michael Grant. The Messenger of Fear by Michael Grant. Feed by Myra Grant. 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray. Let It Snow by John Green, Maureen Johnson and Lauren Miracle. Paper Towns, Will Grayson by John Green and David Levithan. Looking for Alaska, and The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. Curious Incident of a Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon. The Humans, The Radleys, and Reasons to Stay Alive by Matt Haig. 172 Hours on the Moon by Johann Harstad. Why We Took the Car by Wolfgang Herrndorf. The Kite Runner and The Mountains Echoed by Khalid Hosseini. The Next Together by Lauren James. All My Friends Are Superheroes by Andrew Kaufman. The Walking Dead graphic novels Compendium 1 and Compendium 2 by Robert Kirkman. The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. I Am Number 4. The Power of 6, The Fall of 5, The Rise of 9, and The Revenge of 7, all by Pittacus Law from the Lorien Legacy series. The Declaration and The Resistance, the first 2 books in a series by Gemma Malley, which I will never finish because I didn't really like these 2 first books. Beatrice and Virgil by Jan Martel. The Life of Pi by Jan Martel. Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. Leaf Storm by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Breaking Dawn by Stephanie Meyer. Recruit, Class A, Maximum Security, The Killing, By Madness, Man vs. Beast, The Fall, Mad Dogs, The Sleepwalker, The General, Brigands MC, and Shadow Wave, all part of the Cherub series by Robert Muchamore. I'll Give You a Son by Jandy Nelson. A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. The First 15 Lives of Harry August by Claire North. Eragon, Aldous, Brissinger, and Inheritance, all part of their Inheritance cycle by Christopher Paolini. The Dark Inside by Jean Roberts. Divergent, Insurgent, and Allegiant, the trilogy by Veronica Roth. Catastrophic History of You and Me by Jess Rothenberg. Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows by J.K. Rowling. Aristotle and Dante discover the secrets of the universe by Benjamin Alira Zenz. The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. Between Shades of Grey by Ruta Sepetys. The Beginning of Everything by Robin Schneider. Vicious by V.E. Schwab. Wind, Unholy, Unsold, and Undivided, the series by Neil Shusterman. Danger Deep by Neil Shusterman. Alex Crow, and 100 Sideways Miles by Andrew Smith. The Bad Beginning, The Reptile Room, Wide Window, Miserable Mill, The Austere Academy, The Ersatz Elevator, The Vile Village, The Hostile Hospital, The Carnivorous Carnival, The Slippery Slope, The Grim Grotto, The Penultimate Peril, and The End, a series of unfortunate events by Lemony Snicket. These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. The Hobbit, The Fellowship of the Ring, and The Return of the King by J.R.R. Tolkien. We All Looked Up by Tommy Wallach. The Other Life by Suzanne Winokur. Shakespeare's Star Wars by Ian Dosher. And The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. Those are all my books on all of my bookshelves. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you on the next video when Laura's back. Bye guys!